I know it's been a while since I recorded anything. I think about 8 or 9 months. In that time, I got a job and I've been working at the job. I'm still working on my book. I've bought a new iPod, so I'm using that to record this. I'm just kind of getting familiar with it. But in the 8 months, I've been diligently still working on the book, going through the editing, going through each chapter, changing what I need to be changed, or changing what I feel needs to be changed. And I decided to read a few books on how to write and how to go forward with the publishing of this book. I also read these two books. The last video I had, I read these books, and I do recommend them. One is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Blank, and Atomic Habits. Good read. Fascinating. I took a lot of notes, and they actually helped me progress in my endeavors of writing this book. But otherwise, I'm now reading new books. I don't know if this is actually backwards in the video, but I'm doing The Element of Style, which I'm just it was recommended for me to read, so I'm reading that. While I picked that up at Barnes & Noble, I saw this one and read through it and thought this was really fascinating. The Way of the Fearless Writer. I do recommend this one. I started reading this one and I'm actually impressed by it. Then someone also recommended me by this one. I've had this for years. I just kind of breezed through it, but now I'm going to dedicate more effort into reading page to page, cover to cover. I guess I haven't read enough to suggest it or not suggest it, so I'm just going to go through it. Then I had this book for a few years, and I did read it cover to cover. I recommend this one. It's a good read, but the first time I read it was just like a breeze through. It was when I first started writing this book, and that was like I don't know, a few years ago. I was Frida in the background telling me to talk slower, so I guess I should talk slower. Okay, fine. Anyways, this is a good book, but I decided to reread it again and brush up on what information I had obtained years ago that I had forgotten or kind of, I don't know, disappeared into my mind. And then I also, being that I'm doing self-publishing, I got this book, How to Self-Publish Your Book. It's actually a fascinating read and very helpful. So those are the books that I'm currently going through reading while I'm writing this book, just for a little extra aid and help and support and guidance, of course. But I also I drew a little picture on my computer, a smiling face. I'm trying to focus on him because he's my little buddy right now, letting me know that's where I should be looking. So that's where I'm looking. Hi. Anyways, that's what I've been doing for the last 8 months. I didn't want you to think that I just disappeared in obscurity and kind of put my book on the back shelf and kind of forgot about everything. I didn't. I had to get a job so I could afford the items that I needed to help hire editors and to pay for this iPod. I think it's called a mini pod, Apple mini pod. So it's a small one, the smallest one I got. I also have been doing Procreate, and if I can figure out how to show my artwork on this video, you would be seeing them probably right now. If I could go through the editing and add them in. So I do a little art. I did one of Let It Be, not of the Beatles album Let It Be, but it's called Let It Be, The Next Generation, and it's of the kids of the Beatles. So I worked on that and with the kids in the squares on the album Let It Be. But anyways, I worked on that. So if I could figure out how to edit and add those in, you would be seeing that now. If not, I'd just be looking like an idiot talking about something you cannot visualize or see. But whatever. Anyways, that's what I've been working on. I've been learning how to use Procreate, which is a digital art form. I figured since we're going to the age of digital art, I figured I better figure out how to stop using the word figure and work on my artwork. And that's where I'm at right now. And my book, of course, I'm still working on it chapter to chapter. I just received it back from an editor with the errors that I need to make. But in the process of going through it, I'm also rewriting sections of it where I feel like I didn't explain enough, or where I felt like I explained too much of a situation. And the process of writing a memoir is interesting because you can't recall every single detail of your past, and yet you need to put it on a page to help it flow and to let the reader visualize what is going on. So there are gaps in your memory that you have to fill in that make sense to the situation. So I'm doing that. It is called, I guess they call it the writer's creative writing, or they call it something else. I forgot what they call it, but you create the scenario. You're not exaggerating. You're not lying. You're not embellishing on something. You're just taking a memory and adding in the details that your mind cannot retain or remember. For an example, if I said that I ate an apple, and I remember I ate an apple, I just forgot if it was a green apple or a red apple. In the story, for the reader to understand what I ate, I would say, I ate a red apple, and it was delicious. But personally, I don't remember which apple I ate. I just know I ate an apple, and it was delicious. So those are the sort of things that I'm working on in my memoir right now, adding in the gaps in between the blank spots of my memory. But other than that, that's what I've been doing for the last 8 months. I believe my book will be published sometime next year. I'm working on that before the summer. If I could go through the editing, I'll be done with all the editing by December. And then in January, I will probably either hire a graphic designer, or I would do my own designing of the book. And again, with my editing, if I can display my pitch, the idea I have, you'll be seeing it right now. If not, well, it's just an old photograph from 1920 of my house in Beverly Hills. And I'm going to use that for the cover. But if I hire a graphic designer, I would probably have them try to incorporate that image into the book. But that's the plan. So next month, editing, January, a graphic designer, and then if all works out, then the book should be published before the summer of 2024. Yeah, if if all things work out, but such as life, they don't. But anyways, I just wanted to catch you up on what I was doing, and that's it for now. I'll probably try to make more videos. The only reason why I stopped doing the videos is because the editing was so tedious. It was just tiring to do. I didn't have the right system. I still don't have a proper system. But I don't want to buy the proper system until I know I find myself dedicated to something. If I find myself dedicated to something, then it's worth investing. If I can't find the dedication, then I feel it's a waste of money. So it's the same with this mini pad. I didn't want to buy a $2,000-3,000 tablet for my art if I wasn't really going to dedicate my time to the art. And this, I actually found myself, I'm really dedicated to it, so I'm learning it. And now I'm going to see if this works for my video. But until then, or until the next time, that's what I've been doing. Take care. And remember, life is what you make it. Take care.